This earring tutorial will turn your world upside down. Welcome back, my name's Carol. Today I'm going to be using some connectors to make some earrings, but I'm turning them upside down. Now I've used these connectors before and I really love them, but in this instance I needed something different, so I did a switch. You want to make these earrings with me? Keep watching and I will walk you step by step through the process as well as showing you everything that you need. Now remember to watch to the end of the video, because if you do, I will leave you a discount code so you can get 20% off all of the supplies you need for these earrings. So I've got a pair of ear hooks, and these ones are stainless steel and they have a flat back. And I have two of these connectors. Now these connectors, I have used them in the past for a necklace, and I'll leave you a link in the description box for the tutorial for that one, but I've always used them this way up, so I've used them so that this was the focal point pointing down and I attached a dangle to it. Today I'm going to be turning them round and I'm going to be using them upside down. As well as that, I've got some 8x6 faceted glass rondelles, and these ones have a beautiful AB finish. I've got a 15cm piece of chain, which is about 6 inches, I think. I have some 4mm jump rings. I've got some beaded rondelles or daisy spacer beads. I have got two of these 4mm stardust beads and two 4mm hematite rondelles. I've got two 5cm head pins, and I also have a piece of 22 gauge wire. Now you don't need very much for this project. This is a half hard wire and it's silver plated. In terms of tools, I'm going to be using my round nose pliers and my flush cutters. I'm also going to be using two pairs of chain nose pliers, and I'm going to be using my 1.5mm one-step looper to make the loops. Now if you don't have one of these tools, that's okay, you can use a pair of round nose pliers. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my one-step looper to make a loop in the end of the wire. Now if you haven't used this tool before, I will leave you a link in the description box to a video I did all about how to use it. Now it's not quite closed, so I'm just going to close that loop up and just center it on my wire there. So what I'm going to do is put on one of my little silver stardust beads, one of my beaded rondelles, one of my faceted rondelles. And now I'm going to make a wire wrapped loop in the top of this component. So this is what I have now. And I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and I'm going to hold the component in the jaws of the pliers right at the end there. So I want them quite close to the tip. And I'm going to make a right angled bend, just like that. Now what I'm going to do is take my round nose pliers and I'm going to tuck them right in the corner there of that bend. And I'm going to, now I'm about probably 4mm from the end of the pliers. So I'm not making a huge loop this time, but I don't want it to be tiny either. Now I'm going to push the wire around so that it's coming straight back down towards the beads. Now I'm going to let go and release my wrist and release my hand, turn the pliers, and I'm going to pull that wire over. Now I heard someone yesterday say that this is like a woman wearing a scarf, and I can see that. Now what I'm going to do is take my chain nose pliers and I am going to hold that loop that I've just made in the jaws there. And I'm going to take this long tail and I'm going to wrap it around twice or 3 times. It doesn't matter. You just want to fill the space. Now I'm going to cut off that tail there. So getting in right in here with my flush cutters. And I think I need a new pair because mine are fairly blunt. That happens. And just taking my pliers there and tucking down that end. So there is my wire wrapped loop. So that's step 1. On the bottom of this, we are going to add this little dangle made with our little rondelle here. So just popping on that rondelle, and I'm going to use my one-step looper again to make a loop in the top there. And it's not closed properly, but that's okay because I am going to attach it to the bottom loop of this component. Now all I did there was opened up my loop and close them. Now if you are not using a one-step looper and you do need to know how to make loops, I'll leave you a link in the description box and a card up the top for a video how to do that. So there's my dangle all made, and next I'm going to make the part that goes between the two parts of the connector here. Now if you're interested in making the jewellery that I'm wearing today, I am wearing my big chunky statement necklace and earrings to match. I'll leave you a link in the description box below for this tutorial. And if you want to see more of my tutorials, remember to subscribe, and if you like this one, give me that thumbs up. So taking my wire, I'm going to make a loop in the end with my one-step looper, just like before, and just centering it on that loop. Now if it's not closed, that's okay. You can come in with your pliers and just lift it up and move it into the center there. So there's my loop, and I'm going to feed on my beads. So I'm going to start with a beaded rondelle, then I'm going to go on with one of my 8x6 faceted beads and another beaded rondelle. Then I'm going to put on the loop of my component, my dangle there, and I'm going to reverse that. So I'll show you in just a second what I've done. So that's how the beads are going to go on. So you've basically got two beaded rondelles in the middle with your dangle hanging between them. Now I'm going to make a loop in that end. So when I'm making a loop with my one-step looper, I like to just push my thumb on the beads at the bottom there. Whoops. So that it pushes everything up so there's no gaps. And just make your loop. So there we go. Now you'll notice that this is going to be too long for my component here. So if I was to attach that, it's way too long. By way too long, I mean about 4 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it to the first side, and then I'm going to bend it into shape so that it will fit better. So taking my pliers, before I do that though, I want to make sure that my loops are both going the same way. So I'm going to take a loop in either side, in either hand with my pliers, and just give them a twist to make sure that my pliers are even. So therefore my loops will be going the right way. Okay, now I'm going to hold the loop on the side, that it opens, and holding the component between my thumb and my forefingers and my fingers, I'm going to open the loop by twisting down, and I'm going to feed on this component. Now believe me, it looks like it's backwards, but it won't be. And then I'm going to grab that loop on the side and twist it back down so it's closed. And now there's no way that will go in there. So I'm going to give it a bend so that it's the right size. Now this is the trickiest part of this project, is getting it on this side, but it's not that hard. So I'm going to open my loop again on this side. I'm going to go backwards because this is going to come in from the back. Okay, so once you've got it on, you just need to close up that loop. So there is your earring. Now the next thing we're going to do is add the chain component, and we're going to do that using our 4mm jump rings. So I've cut my chain, and I'm going to open my jump ring. Now if you haven't used jump rings before, I will leave you a link in the description box below to a video all about how to do that, all about jump rings. So just feeding on your piece of the last link of your chain there, and then we're going to put it onto the loop of the connector here, and closing up that jump ring by just reversing the process that you used to open it. So that is what I have now. And now I'm going to bring this one around and connect it onto the side. So just using the same process. So opening my jump ring. And this time I'm going to put it on there and hang it so that it's not twisted, and then very carefully bring it around and connect it there, because I don't want my chain to be twisted. And then I'm going to close my jump ring. So that is what I have now. And now I'm just going to add my ear wire. So to do that, I am going to take my ear wire, and this side of the ear wire opens, and I'm going to hold it in the pliers there, in the jaws of the pliers, push down, and then I'm going to feed on the connector. Now I want to make sure that the round part of the ear hook, or the front, is facing the front, so just turn it until it is, hook it on, and reverse the process to do that ear hook back up. And there is one earring. Now I have to make another one. So there's my earrings. Aren't they stunning? I love the shape of them, and it's really interesting that I use that connector upside down because it just adds that level of interest. If you like these earrings, remember to give me the thumbs up, and also leave me a comment in this comment section below and let me know if you like them, if you'd change them, what color you'd make them in. Just let me know. Remember, check us out on Facebook and Instagram as well. Now, the discount code to get 20% off all of the supplies you need to make these earrings is upside down. So just enter that into the discount code box when you check out on our website, and you'll get 20% off everything for these earrings. And I'll also be making up a kit, so check that out as well. I'll leave you a link in the description box below for a blog post which will contain everything that you need to know about making these earrings. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.